Hey divers! It is our Facebook Live. Thank you all for joining in. We appreciate it. It is Thursday. It is May 14th, 2020, and we have a great presentation planned tonight for you guys. But quickly, as you know, as we are on our Facebook Live, we want to know that you are tuned in. So please give us a thumbs up or a heart or a happy face. Go ahead and hit those. Or hit us a comment. Let us know that you're here. All right, so we can say hi to you back. Awesome. Todd's the first one to write in. Hey, Todd. All right, so guys, we are Facebook Live, and I just wanted to really quick before we go on with our guest presenter, talk about May is our spearfishing month here at 4C Scuba. And basically what that means is we plan lots of really cool events. Usually they're at the stores or out on the boats, but because of the current circumstance, we weren't able to do that. So we brought them into Facebook Live, which actually gave us some more opportunities to reach out to some spear pros that aren't in South Florida to help us get a little bit more information to you guys about spearfishing. So another thing too, during our spearfishing month, we put a lot of our gear up on sale on our online store. So if you go to www.force-e.com, you can see all the great products that we have listed. It's really easy. When you're on our homepage, you'll see it's the first slider banner, and you just click on that and you can see what is going on at 4C. So just a reminder, because of the circumstances here in South Florida right now, our stores are open. Our Broward County store is limited service, but they are open. So don't worry, guys. You can still get your fills and you get your stuff from our Pompano store. Our Boca Raton and our Riviera Beach store is open and ready to serve you guys and get you out on boats. So, all right. So just again, remember, if you have any questions for the guest presenter, you can write them in the comments. You can also give us a thumbs up, a heart, or a happy face to let us know that you're excited about the presentation. So we got people chiming in. So let me go ahead and introduce our guest presenter. We have the guys here from HammerHead Spearguns, and especially the president, Kevin. How's it going, Kevin?
Great. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, 4C Divers. So it's really great to be a part of this presentation. It's technology leaping forward. So that's one thing we do have to think about is video presentations. We never had to do this level of technology before, and wanted to introduce this is TJ. He's one of our employees.
Hey, how's it going?
He's about to take a lunch break. He ties up all our bands and does all our speargun assembly and screwing everything together. So we just wanted to make sure we said hi. And wanted to just talk a little bit about HammerHead Spearguns, what we are, what we do, our mission, and then go right into some of our cool products. So we also have a lot of masks. Okay, shoots, aloha. And we're just here in our front showroom, a little bit of presentation area. So for those of you,
tell everybody where you're at right now. What state are you in?
We are in Honolulu, Hawaii. So we're
how cool is that we're able to do this presentation? We don't have to be in the same room.
So we can thank our technology and in meetings and go live. So TJ is about to grab his lunch break, and we're gonna go Jack in a Box. I'm good. I had a big breakfast.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go grab Kip's lunch too.
Sounds good. Well, it's just lunchtime for us here in Honolulu, and again, if you guys are just joining us, my name is Kevin, founder of HammerHead Spearguns, and the story of HammerHead Spearguns really started off as I was molding a speargun muzzle a decade ago, and from there we made a open muzzle product, and one product after another. I'm sure you've seen our rash guards, socks, gloves, fins, and we were able to progress the company just by making speargun parts, and now we pretty much do everything. We even started our own wetsuit sewing facility in the Philippines, so we make all of our wetsuits, socks, and gloves with our own employees down in the Philippines, and have been able to have really like a bespoke manufacturing, small company, but able to be vertically integrated, which is pretty cool. So we do everything from design, spearfishing, manufacturing, production, assembly, and the marketing as well. So pretty nice to be so vertically integrated as a small company. It allows us to adapt our products to different regions. The spearguns that we sell very heavily in Hawaii may not be the spearguns type that some divers in Florida who are looking to shoot. So it allows us to really adapt our products to the various regions that we sell to. One of the cool things that we do a lot of shaft manufacturing and band assembly, and that's something that we can only do here in the United States because there's so many different diameters, lengths, threaded, attachment tanks to the different types of spear guns. So a lot of that manufacturing has to be done in-house, so we can do very small, basically it's called lean manufacturing. So we sell a product, we manufacture it to fill it because of all the different variations of spearfishing and spear guns on the market today. Okay. One of the coolest things I wanted to talk to you about is our HammerHead spear guns, how we talk about our masks. And we have a cool little video that talks about our Apex lens technology. And the Apex lens technology is something unique that HammerHead does because we're a 100% spearfishing, lobstering, collecting, shell collecting company. So whatever we do underwater, we won't need to pursue a quarry. And so if we can't see our quarry, that means we can't catch them. So 100% of the HammerHead masks are made with what we call Apex lens technology, which is an ultra clear glass. It's the same standard tempered glass, but it doesn't have iron oxide impurities. So our Apex glass actually has 13% more light transmittance. So that means you can actually see 13% more underwater if you use one of our HammerHead masks. So that means, it's not just 13% in a linear view, it's a 13% cone as you're searching. So we say you can actually catch or spear or harvest 13% pi r squared more fish, lobsters, octopus, or whatever you're pursuing after. And that's a really important concept that we've done. So we do have some of the lenses to show you the difference between your standard glass and the HammerHead Apex glass. So that shows right there the two lobsters. So there's a 13% gradient between the photo with your standard glass and then our Apex glass technology. So let me actually show you, that's the images there. Let me show you in live what those two look like. So this is your standard tempered glass, and if we hold it up, you can see the standard tempered glass kind of has a greenish tint, a greenish hue. Maybe I can hold it up on this white background, you can see it there. So that's your standard tempered glass, and that's manufactured, they call it float glass. They put silica sand on a bed of iron oxide, and it's floating there, and that's basically every glass that you see has this greenish edge, any showcase displays, etc., etc. This is called optical grade glass. So you can see it has that clear edge, that white edge. The standard tempered has that green edge. And so this is made in all your eyeglasses. Sometimes they call it museum quality glass. It's ultra clear. So when you hold it up, you can actually see it's going to have a 13%, this one's a bit dirtier than this one. And that's just the green iron oxide impurities that are being picked up from the manufacturing process. Okay. So the nickel, we actually call this nickel glass, and then it's actually floated on a bed of nickel, while this is floated on a bed of iron oxide, and so it picks up the greenish iron oxide hues. So you can see the difference between standard tempered and the Apex lens right there. Can everybody see that? Can we comment there? Do I have to hold it a different way to take a look at the views? Okay.
Everybody says it's good. They can see it.
They can see it. Cool. Yeah. So beyond that, we actually add a few different lens coatings. So we start with everything HammerHead is with your Apex glass, and then we add some different coatings to them. So just like your Oakley coatings or other things that are coated onto the glass, these are the technical lens coatings that we've had onto your standard Apex frame. And so we have these. So first one in that corner, we have our amber lens. So that is right here. Our amber lens, so that allows you to actually pick up better contrast when you're hunting underwater. So spearfishing, even night diving, because everybody's using LED lights, the wavelength spectrum is so narrow that you may want to pop some contrast with the amber lens. And especially in dirty water, it's going to help you pick out lobster antennas or some rocks on the bottom, just different coloration. Blue water hunting, the amber is really good to pick up shapes because everything is just kind of blue. You can see your wahoos or onos much easier with your amber lenses. So generally, we like to recommend amber for just your overall hunting techniques. Just going to pick up more contrast, whatever you're trying to pursue, whether it's lobsters, seeing that antenna coming out, wiggling, or fish popping out of the blue, the amber is really, really good. Okay. From there, we have the mirrored coating. So mirrored coating, it's also a specialized coating right there. It's very opaque. So we got good reflectivity. And one of the key things when you're hunting certain species of fish, they react really negatively to your eyes. If you're staring at a fish and looking at them like that, fish get scared. So sometimes they get a little bit more wary. So covering your eyes and making your eyes less visible is a really good technique to getting a little bit closer to some wary fish. Also in sunny areas like in the Keys down there, if there's a white sand bottom, there's a lot of reflectivity. So these mirrored lenses will protect your eyes in shallow water if there's a lot of light refracting off the bottom. And one thing I always say, the mirrored lens does also look really, really cool in photos, and that's pretty important. You see the light rays reflecting off the mirrored lenses and things like that, and it's pretty cool to to wear the mirrored lenses, and it really helps out approach a fish much better. One of the analogies I like to say about mirrored lenses and spearfishing is kind of like mirrored lenses are like sunglasses, right? What happens when you get out of the water and there's a whole bunch of members of the opposite sex on the beach or something like that? You put on your shades, you look all cool, and you kind of your shades hide your eyes from basically checking out everybody on the beach. Same thing, mirrored lenses when you're spearfishing. You wear your mirrored lenses, and now fish don't really see your intentions, so you can get a little bit closer to them. And like I said, mirrored lenses and sunglasses really make for better photos as well. Pretty cool to hold up your catch and have the mirrored lenses on it, so it does have some advantages. The last lens coating I'm going to talk about is called your arc coating, and that is your anti-reflective coating. And this is unique in that it allows more light to penetrate through the glass. So instead of light hitting the lens and bouncing off, the anti-reflective coating will allow light to hit the lens and transmit through for increased light transmittance. So you get better color, you get better clarity. So this is really good for photographers, a really good general lens if you're going to be diving deeper. There's not that much light penetration down below 30 meters. So we do say the arc coating, which is the anti-reflective coating, allows more light to come through the lens. So it's a really, really good for general purposes. If you're not going specifically spearfishing, if you're not going to be using the mirrored lenses, the arc coating is really good. And finally, we also have, we call it the Apex Uncoated, and that's just a Apex glass, which is your ultra clear glass without any coatings on it. So it's really good standard general application for all diving conditions. So, but again, that's going to have a 13% more light transmittance just over your standard temperate green glass. Okay. So that's a little bit about the lenses that we use on our hammerhead mask and the technical coatings that we apply to the lens on that. And from there, we can see a little bit, I'll kind of move away, and that's all of our masks that we have on the wall from, our MV6, a little bit larger frame. We also use the GoPro frame. So that's a little bit lower volume mask that we have with the GoPro frame attachment on it. So actually, I wanted to take any questions right now that you guys might have specifically about masks and lenses. Anybody have any questions about masks and lenses right now?
Yes. They want to know, are the lens interchangeable?
Slightly. We do assemble a lot of the masks in-house and customize them. So it is a process. If you do have an O-ring pick tool, you can grab the inner frame and pop it over. And then it's just a compression fit, snapping the lenses together. But unless you are really handy and know how to change O-rings and have a good pick tool available, I wouldn't suggest it because it does require a little bit of compression strength to snap the mask back together. But the lenses are interchangeable.
Okay,
somewhat.
and we have somebody asking about a low volume mask can accommodate prescription lenses.
We are working on that. So we are developing our MV3 frame. It's nice and low profile, and we're working to develop prescription lenses specifically for this mask frame. So that is coming within the next 2 to 3 months. Okay.
Awesome. Do you want me to show the video?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. Here is. Go ahead and tell them what this video is about.
So this video just talks a little bit more in detail about the lens and the coatings that we just reviewed. Okay. And this is Do you want to catch pi r squared more fish and lobsters? Let me show you how. Aloha mermaids and mermen, Spearos and Spearas. I'm Kevin, U.S. Spearfishing National Champion, freedive instructor, and founder of HammerHead Spearguns. Today we're talking about the apex lenses inside all of HammerHead Spearguns masks. HammerHead Spearguns is a 100% hunting and gathering brand. Lobsters, octopus, fish, and shells. If we can't see them, we can't catch them. So that is why in 100% of our masks, we use an apex lens technology, which is more than 13% more clear than standard glass. So we say you're going to be catching 13% pi r squared more fish, lobsters, or shells, and even octopus. So let's see the difference between the two. Right here, I have two lenses. This is your standard tempered, and here's your ultra clear glass with apex technology. As you can see, the standard tempered has a little greenish tint to it, while the HammerHead apex glass looks very clear. If we put them down as a side-by-side comparison, you can really see the difference. The greenish tint with your standard tempered and your very clear apex glass technology. These are actually the same glass. This is the same silica glass floated right here on a bed of iron oxide for your standard tempered, and for your apex technology, the same silica glass is floated on a nickel bed, which reduces the amount of iron oxide impurities that's absorbed by the glass for a more clear, truer color image. So that's why with your HammerHead mask, we can guarantee you'll catch 13% pi r squared more fish or lobster, because you will see more fish or lobster with the HammerHead lens apex technology. Once again, this is Kevin with HammerHead Spearguns. Thanks for watching, and aloha.
All right, Kevin, that was an awesome video.
So that was our attempts to create a little video presentation about the apex lens technology. I wanted to switch gears a little bit. Actually, is there any final questions we may have about masks and lenses that our viewers might
There's
have?
one more question. They want to know if there's different versions of GoPros. Will that mask fit any of the GoPros as long as it has that fitting that the GoPro makes?
Uh-oh, volume came down. Oh, there, it's back on. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Question?
Yeah, they had one more question. Wanted to know your mask that has the GoPro fitting. Is that any GoPro generation, or is it particular GoPros?
So the attachment is actually patented by a company. So they have a patent on all these different types of masks. It doesn't a GoPro attachment to all these different types of masks, whether like dive masks, skydiving masks, etc. But it is a universal attachment, so it goes from GoPro Generation 1 all the way to the latest 8. So
awesome.
And we've even putting some light attachments to them. Some of the cave divers have been putting a light attachment to the GoPro mount right there, and it has a really cool, head-mounted light. But it only works in really, really clear water. If there's any particles in the water, it'll refract light back into your eyes, and because it's so close. So that's why some of the cave divers who have been diving in really, really clear waters have been having a lot of success using our GoPro masks with the headlights.
Okay, hold on before you move on. Hey guys, here's the mask. You guys want to win this mask tonight? All right, you guys have 7 minutes to go to the link that was in the event description and register. It's a Eventbrite link. And so you got to register so we can get your name and your email address. And at the end of this presentation, I'm doing a live random picker, and someone's going to win this mask tonight.
Wow, that's a deal. It's a great, great giveaway. That's our HammerHead MV3 action with the GoPro mount, and that also has the ARC anti-reflective coating lenses on it. So really awesome giveaway. Wanted to switch gears a little bit, or switch fins a little bit, and talk about our HammerHead fins. So these our standard plastic fins, we also have them in black. So we've been able to just come out with cool different color combinations of our long blade freediving fins. And what I tell everybody is long blade fins are twice as long, so you kick half as hard. And that's a really cool concept to understand when you're using long blade fins, is you want to let the blade do the work. And by kicking half as hard because your fins are twice as long, it's going to really reduce the amount of stress on your heart rate and allow you to conserve more air and oxygen for a deeper, longer dive. So it doesn't matter if you're on freediving or scuba, long blade fins are going to really allow you to conserve your air and conserve your oxygen. So this is a cool combination that we had. We got the white with the pink accents. And if anybody does want to change these out, these are just a simple screw kits that you can change pops of different colors. These are the same plastic blades. So we got the white one with the pink. We made this like cool, yellow and black combination, the Bumblebee or Pittsburgh Steelers. And then, just a really nice, soft, easy kick. And that's what's great about our HammerHead fins. The pockets are really soft and flexible. I can wear them with a really, really light sock or a Lycra sock and not have to worry so much. So we are a warm water spearfishing company. So we really made a little bit more lighter weight, more flexible foot pocket. So you're not diving in the Mediterranean, so you're not having a 3 or 5 millimeter sock that you're wearing. That's a really nice and flexible foot pocket there. One of the things I wanted to show you and excited to show you is our new carbon fiber blades. So this is our new HammerHead carbon fiber blades right here. So this is our Greek design with the new pockets, and this has a carbon fiber diamond weave. And so one of the advantages of carbon fiber fins is they're a lot faster than plastic. And so when you're kicking and you have you're trying to ascend to the surface, sometimes, the carbon fiber blade has such a large amplitude because it moves so much faster. A larger amplitude means you're moving more water. Moving more water means you're going faster for the same amount of energy that you're putting into your kick. So carbon fiber really increases your performance over standard plastic just because it's so much quicker and more responsive underwater. This is a unique design. It's got a diamond weave. So let me hold it here, and you can kind of see how it's crossed like this. One of your weakest things in your freediving kick or any kick is right here, right on your ankle. Let me put up my foot so I can show you my ankle. This tendon right there, sometimes your kick is going to overpower it. Maybe you get tired after kicking for a while, and so instead of having a perpendicular kick, because your ankle is twisting, it's called a pigeon toe, and now your blade is dumping water off the sides. And when that happens, you really lose power, you lose a lot of your efficiency with your kick because your ankles are getting weak, and they call it a pigeon toe. Some of these blades are designed to reduce that torquing. If you can see how the carbon fiber is laid up in this little bit weave pattern, like a diamond pattern, that means when I have that pigeon toe and I'm starting to tweak over, my blade is not going to be bending to the side. So it's going to stay a lot more perpendicular to the direction of travel. So right here you can see, even though I'm pulling on the end, the blade is not torquing over and twisting. So this is one of the key advantages of higher end carbon fiber fins, is that they're laid up in order to reduce the amount of pigeon toe, to make sure that when you're kicking, you're not dumping and keeping the blade perpendicular to the direction of travel. So that is one of our cool new things that we've been able to introduce to the market with these cool new colored foot pockets as well. And we do have them in various stiffnesses. So there's also right here, this is a medium hard blade. You can see right there. So there is starting to become a standardizing and testing of your carbon fiber blades. It's developed by some of the companies in Greece. So when I was there in the 2016 World Spearfishing Tournament as part of Team USA, is when I got to meet a lot of the Greek manufacturers for carbon fiber blades. And their standardization for stiffness is to put the blade on a scale, and at 40 centimeters, how much pressure is the blade exerting on the scale. And right here at 40 centimeters, this blade is exerting 1.3 kilograms of pressure, and that's the amount of stiffness that we have in this blade. Other blades are going to exert a little bit less, so a soft blade will be exerting about 1 kilogram of pressure, and that would be good for anybody about 110 pounds and lighter. If the stiffness for 1.1 kilograms of pressure is good for about somebody who's about 120 pounds to 150 pounds of body mass. So we do need a little bit of like a more rigid blade to push that body mass to the water. And somebody who's going to be between 150 and maybe 200 pounds is going to be looking for a 1.2. That's going to be like one of the medium blades. So that's the amount of the stiffness that we're going to need for your body mass. And everybody larger than that would be using probably a medium hard 1.3. So that's a little bit of a blade standardization to cater the amount of flex and stiffness of the blade to somebody's body mass. Did we have any questions on some of the blades right now?
Yes, they want to know, do you recommend carbon fiber blades for scuba?
For scuba diving, we actually recommend fiberglass. The carbon fiber is a little bit more fragile, but fiberglass is a lot more durable. So we do have some demonstrations that we shoot the fiberglass blade with 22 bullets, and the bullets go through, and the blade still works, and we bang it on the chairs. So fiberglass is really, we call it a bulletproof material when you're looking for higher end composite blades. So carbon fiber, the advantage is it's a little bit not as durable as fiberglass, but the speed of the travel is a little bit faster in the water. But for scuba, we definitely recommend fiberglass blades.
Awesome. And some of the ladies want to know if you're going to make girly colors or maybe clear fins, fin blades.
We've actually made a few fin blades with our camo wraps and things like that. So we've been doing a lot of really cool, neat things, customizing the fin blades, having a lot of fun with that. So, and plus, you know, all the pockets, our white pockets, our blue pockets have been very, very popular as well. So we've been, you know, really adding a lot of color to the freediving line. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome. So I guess you got spear guns that you want to talk about.
You did want to talk about some Spearguns. You put this down. I did want to show you guys one of the cool things that we are developing, and that's we're coming out with our MMA gloves with Velcro. So this, in fact, all of our gloves are now going to have like a Velcro or just your gather release. So it just makes it easier to put them on and off, and that's our HammerHead gloves have been extremely popular. So just adding that Velcro closure is just one thing that makes them a little bit easier to use. Okay. Cool. Let me grab one of our Spearguns. I grabbed this one. That's a little bit smaller model. So this is our HammerHead Evolution. This is a Jurassic model. And I wanted to talk really quickly about what I feel as important characteristics of like a spear gun. So this is what we call the rear handle gun. And one of the most important things for me in spearfishing is getting my hand position as close to the shaft as possible. So the closer my finger is to that shaft, the more instinctively I can point and shoot. So, you know, we're like pointing here, pointing there. Wherever we're pointing, that's where the shaft is going. A lot of other spear guns, they have the handle drilled into the bottom of the barrel like this. So now my finger is 2-3 inches away, and some are like thicker barrel guns. My finger might be 3 inches away. So if I'm pointing at the fish, the shaft is actually 3 or 4 inches high, and if I pull the trigger, a lot of the times the shaft is flying over the fish because I'm instinctively pointing and shooting because I'm holding my breath, I'm looking through my mask, like I'm not thinking about pointing at the fish and pulling down. So that's why I really enjoy a rear handle spear gun with the finger release as close to the shaft as possible. So wherever I'm pointing, that's where the shaft is going. So right here, this is one of our basic models. It's the Jurassic, and it's got aluminum barrel. One thing we've also been able to do is attach our same very ergonomic handle. Again, my shaft is so close to my pointer finger, so wherever I'm pointing, that's where the shaft is going. So this is one of our wooden hybrid models. So everybody, it's got a nice mahogany, straight grain, mated right here to the handle, shark fin shaft. This has 2 bands, but we can even have a couple of models with 3 bands, and we even have some rollers coming out. And it really allows me to be very instinctive. Again, wherever I'm pointing, right here with that finger, boom, that's where the shaft is going. So one thing I do like about wood is it's a little bit quieter in the water, has good mass, so it holds recoil. So if you're shooting heavier bands, heavier shaft, the wood with the larger mass is going to hold that recoil. One of the cons to the wood is that it's maybe turns a little bit slower, or in high current areas, the current might push against your wood spear gun because of its larger size. So in some of our shallower water areas with a lot of current, we do like our round barrels, a little bit more streamlined. And this would be one of our carbon fiber barrels, so the ultimate in strength and rigidity. And it's also very light, so if I'm diving in deeper waters, free diving deeper than 30 meters, having a carbon fiber barrel is really nice on my ascent. Nice and light, brings up really easy, and turns really good. So that's a couple of the things that we do have with our European handle style right here. One thing that we are currently developing, and I'll show you guys first because it's really not on the market yet, is this is one of our new wood guns. So again, it's got an AR-15 handle, a drop-in mechanism, so it's fully stainless steel. And one thing that we did do, I'm not sure if you can see here, is we tried to take away material a little bit from the handle base. So our handle is recessed in to the wood stock right there. So that just allows our finger to be a little bit closer to the shaft. If we're just drilling the handle base to the bottom of the wood barrel, it's big. Our finger would be 2-3 inches away from the shaft, and we have to compensate in shooting a little bit more. So by taking that material away, we just have a higher, more ergonomic, more instinctive shooting on all of our spear guns. Okay. So this is one of our new models that's coming out. This is a 60-inch spear gun, and we even have some roller muzzles that are coming out on our wood gun. So this is in development. So this is a double roller off of the wood gun here we have right now. Rollers are extremely popular, and one of the benefits of roller spear guns is, let's say I have a 100-centimeter barrel. With the roller muzzle, that 100 centimeters of band stretch can now be converted onto 200 centimeters of band stretch. So lots of increased power with the roller gun. So right here, this can actually have 4 times the amount of stretch over a single band. So these are some cool things that are coming out. We are having them, a little bit delayed because of the coronavirus, but they will be out soon, and we do have them as prototypes and testing and getting them rolled out to all of the divers. Any questions on some of our new spear guns?
Yes, they really want to know, is that a 2-band or a 3-band gun, and any idea on the price point yet?
So right here, it's got a 3-band slot. So the slot is large enough for 3 bands, and we can use it there. So, and the price point right here, this gun is retailing about $750. So, it all depends on the setup. If there's going out with a slip tip, or whatever rigging there's going to have. The roller has right here a double roller, so that's effectively like a 4-band setup right there.
So Kevin, a couple of these people want to know differences in how to pick a gun and for the type of fish that you're trying to go after. So say you want to do hogfish, what is the gun size and band number that you should be using for, say, a hogfish?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of different types of spearfishing. So generally what we say is a spear gun 90, 100, 110 is all the general reef sizes. And so that's a 44-inch to a 55-inch spear gun. So generally those sizes are the most effective for reef hunting just about anywhere in the world. And so those are the size that you'd like to use. If I'm starting off, I would get it for the shorter end of that, a 90 centimeter barrel length, or that's about 42 inches. And maybe if I'm a little bit more advanced and want to explore some deeper areas and go after some amberjacks and cobia, something of the 110 or 55-inch speargun size would be more relevant.
Okay. And then if you could kind of give us an opinion about using what's the next size guns for things like bigger, say, I don't know, tuna, mahi. I know that you guys do a lot of that out there in Hawaii. I know there's some people out here that are jumping on the kelp patties and the patties.
Amount of spearfishing, it's the variation of spear guns and fish type ranges. So being able to adapt your equipment to the quarry you're after is pretty unique. But I always like to say, like, whatever spear gun you're shooting, you can land just about anything with an accurate shot. And to be able to have an accurate shot is probably the most important thing about spearfishing. And let me show you a picture of like the largest fish that I've speared in my lifetime, and that was done with a 90 centimeter barrel length. So let me put those away. I always like to say, if you shoot a big fish in the head, it's dead. And this was very true for this 120-pound ulua. So that 90 centimeter spear gun is really used to shoot small fish, maybe like these little scamp groupers that we have that are invasive in Hawaii. So I was going after 1 to 2 pound fish, and this 120-pound fish came up and maybe it tried to eat me. So instead of aiming for the mid body of this big fish, with my small accurate spear gun, I aimed for the head and it was dead. So it's called a stone shot. You can see right where the backbone connects into the cranium, the skull, and at that juncture is where I hit it, and it instantly got paralyzed, and I was able to bring it to the surface. It wasn't struggling or anything. So by using a more accurate shot, you can land really big fish effectively. So that's what I always like to say is, always working on your technique and accuracy and using the equipment the right way is going to allow you to spear really big fish that you may not have realized you could. It's not normal, but even the largest yellowfin tuna was speared with a 2-band spear gun. So that was done in Panama. It wasn't a world record because they attached like 55-gallon barrel drums to it, but it just shows you that you can land really large fish with an accurate shot at the right places. So again, if somebody's going to go blue water diving, the double rollers like this one are going to be very effective. That's going to be like shooting 4 bands, and that's going to allow you to pursue even the largest cobias and get into your wahoo and blue water fish that are just a little bit more wary in clear water, so you might need to do a 25 or 30-foot shot in order to get to the fish. And so those blue water fish do require large equipment just because of the clear nature and because they may not be so approachable as reef fish are.
Could you tell us the story about this picture?
That fish was down in Baja. So one of the greatest places to spearfish around is Baja, California. That was done at a resort called Palapas Ventana. Really easy fly-in. So if anybody's looking to do like extended 3-day trip, fly in, do some spearfishing, and fly out, Palapas Ventana they are located in just a little bit north of Cabo San Lucas. So you can fly in, they pick you up from the airport, but this is a Pargo or Cubera snapper, and just really gear busters. So it bent the shaft. I had a really nice rodeo bringing it up, and because the shaft was bent, we just used that to get a nice photo. But that was speared with a 110 centimeter spear gun. So a 55-inch spear gun landed a 65-pound Cubero snapper. Really good shot, right to the head, and hurt him pretty bad. But he still fought really hard and bent up that shaft. So.
And Kevin, I think this picture is from when you were on the USA Spearfishing Team, right?
Oh, correct. So I think last week's guest was Francisco Lofretti. So we talked about competitive spearfishing. And here in the United States, there's regional tournaments, and there's also the U.S. Spearfishing Nationals. And this year, before the coronavirus, it was scheduled to happen up a little bit north of you guys in Palm Beach area. So that was on the schedule for, I believe, early in June, and that's been postponed indefinitely currently. But to qualify for the World Tournaments, which happens every 2 years, you do have to qualify during the U.S. national tournaments. And again, this one is happening. It's probably going to happen probably in September now, but you can stay contacted with us to find a rescheduled date of the U.S. Spearfishing National Championships. And again, I was very fortunate enough to make the 2016 World Team that was in Greece, Syros, Greece. So really competitive spearfishing. Really, it was an amazing experience to be on a huge stage. It's almost like I liken it to bass fishing. So we had a stage and weigh-ins and an auditorium. We had probably 3,000 people in attendance and big screen TVs, showing up all of the weights of the fish and the catch. So it was a pretty amazing experience to be a part of a global spearfishing tournament like that.
All right, I have one more photo. Maybe you can tell us about this fish.
Sure. So that's another one of our aluas. So that is the largest reef fish in Hawaii. So that's the glua or giant trevally. So they get to be, over 150 pounds. And that was, again, they're such gear breakers. They live in the caves and rocks. Even if you have a good shot on them, like this one, it still bent up the shaft. And it's one of the really good eating fishes, the largest game fish that we do have in the shoreline of Hawaii. So we're wrapping up, but if there's any questions that anybody wants to ask about any hammerhead gear, please send them in, and we will be here to answer a few more questions for the next few minutes.
Okay, it looks like they want to know, what is a good entry-level gun in your line of hammerhead guns?
There's two models of entry-level guns, and right here I'll show both of them and show you the difference between them. So this is our Evolution model. I apologize, it doesn't have our Evolution sticker because our sticker printer is in California and we're not able to get stickers printed right now. And this is our Jurassic model. They're actually the same spear gun, but let me show you the differences here. So the Evolution, as you can see, it does have two bands, while the Jurassic has only a single band rigging. And the Evolution, we rig it with a shark fin shaft. So we see those welded shark fin shafts here. That makes it a little bit easier to load because you're loading your band just right there, while the Jurassic has a South African style notch shaft, so similar to a Rob Allen. And it's a little bit more economical shaft, a little bit cheaper shaft, but you do have to push the bands into those notches to load. So it's not as convenient, not as easy. The stainless steel welded shark fin shaft is a little bit more expensive, but it is what we prefer. So these are two models. So the Jurassic retails about $220, and the Evolution will retail about $60 or $70 higher, about $300, depending on the length that you choose. So those are the two entry-level models that I would recommend. Either the Jurassic with the single band and a notch shaft, or the Evolution with the double band and a shark fin shaft. And again, both of them are the same barrel, same handle. They're just rigged in different ways.
Awesome. Okay. Looks like someone's asking about masks and the lenses again. We were talking about the different lenses for like spearfishing and stuff, and they're asking, what about your lenses for photographers? Which one was that you recommended?
So for photography, we definitely recommend the arc lens coating. So that's here. So that's anti-reflective glass, and that just allows more light to come through. You're going to get truer color. So even in deeper water, you're going to be getting more light to the mask, and that's definitely going to help for everything. So that is the ARC, or anti-reflective coating, that's applied to your glass.
All right. Do you guys, they want to know, do you guys make reels for spearfishing guns? And can you tell us a little bit more about that, and if they go on to entry-level guns as well?
Sure. All of our spear guns do have a reel mount, and actually, the carbon fiber, this one right here, actually has a reel attached. Let me show you. That one is screwed in, but all of our spear guns do have a mount right here. So that's a dovetail friction mount, and then you can attach it. You can actually screw your reel down. So right here, we have a more 25-meter reel on a little bit smaller spear gun. This is a 100-centimeter spear gun. Sometimes you like to size the reels for the size of the gun. A larger reel is going to sink the spear gun if it's too heavy. So on spear guns, 90 centimeters and down, we put the smaller 25-meter reel. On spear guns that are 100 centimeters, which is like a 50-inch gun and higher, we can use a 50-meter reel, and that has 50 meters of 1.5 millimeter diameter line. And then some of your larger spear guns, 120s and 130s, your 60-inch guns and larger, you can put our biggest reels, which are going to have 90 meters of line capacity. That's going after your copias, your wahoos, and even some of your big amberjacks. So one thing about a spear gun reel I always like to recommend is it's your ODAM or OS equipment, because it's, oh damn, I shot a big fish and now the fish is going and fighting, so I want to make sure I have a reel to pay out. Or, oh dang, I shot a rock and now my shaft is stuck on the bottom or something, so I'm going to need a reel if I'm freediving to get to the surface. So it's really used for emergency situations, like emergency, I shot a big fish, or emergency, I got to get to the surface and I don't want to let go of my spear gun. So I like to always keep the reel a little bit looser drag, and I can also cup it very well and apply the appropriate pressure with my hand as well. So just put the pressure against the arbor of the reel and make sure the line is paying out smoothly. Okay. So that's a little bit about the reels. There's lots of different sizes. All hammerhead guns do have an attached reel mount, so you just slide that reel on and you're good to go.
So also on your guns, you guys, on the handles, you usually put some kind of a clip. Does that come with all the guns that you guys have?
Sure. This one is a personal spear gun, so it just has a loop of monofilament around, so we can put a clip on it. Others, you can actually take this pin out and put a 5-inch clip in here, so interchangeable. So depending on what you want to do, either a hard attachment of clip or mono loop, I prefer like nothing, because I want to be a little bit more streamlined, don't want something interfering with me. But there's a lot of various personalization that we can do, and it's just removing this pin or putting a loop of line in there. But you can also put your swivel clip by removing this pin and putting it through and capturing the pin right there. So that's a really good technique to just customize and having a clip on your spear gun. In fact, some of our other spear gun models do have a clip attached to it on the bottom. I can show you what it looks like. So this is a really entry-level spear gun. It's called a Proteus, and we do rig it with a clip right here, so you can clip it off. And nice compact size. It's really good for just lionfish, and some hogfish. But it's nice, easy. It's got the clip on the bottom.
Also can customize the back end of the gun, so you can do a chest or a hip mount, or load. Sorry, a chest load and a hip loading. Correct?
Yes. We have most of our spear guns with the rear handle style, and so most of the wetsuits you'll see a chest loading pad. The closer to your biceps you load your spear gun, the more power you're going to have. So if it's too low, then you're going to have to crunch over. So we say definitely try to chest load if possible. You're going to have a lot more power with the bands, with the spear gun closer to your bicep, loading that way. We do have a few other models that are coming out with the wood handles. So again, this wood handle, it makes it a lot easier to do a lower hip loading. So it's a little bit more ergonomic, a lot more comforting and cushioning. A big fat pad there to load it a little bit lower as well. So.
All right, I think there's one more question. How do you travel with a spear gun? I mean, obviously from your car to the boat is easy, but if you were to say take it on a plane, what is the process of packing one of these guys?
So I can grab it right here. One of the best equipments that we use for traveling is called a sport tube, and let me grab one and show you guys real quickly. So this is a sport tube. It's actually designed as a snowboard and ski case. It's a really cool piece of equipment that allows you to do a lot of traveling. It expands out. It does have some wheels on the bottom right there. So it allows you to put all your equipment in here. This is the smaller size. This is called the Series 2 on the sport tube. And the Series 2 allows me to basically even put my fins inside. So if I'm going on a freediving spearfishing trip, I can get my fins inside. I can wrap my wetsuit in there. I can put my spear guns, and so it makes traveling a lot easier. And the hard case again expands out, and you can just customize it to whatever length, the longest shaft that you have. So it does have wheels on the bottom. Little carry handle, so it is a highly recommended piece of equipment for anybody who's going to be traveling.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting through TSA with that one.
Oh, no problem. It's definitely it's definitely a check luggage item. So one of the interesting hints, as we say, for PGA has done a really good job of marketing with all of the airlines. So golf clubs are allowed to be traveled as one of your pieces of check luggage, and even though they might be heavy or larger, they're never assessed the oversized luggage fee. So if you can if they do ask, so what's in there, and they give you any problems, golf clubs do travel free on airlines.
That's good to know. Awesome. So how many times do you get out and spearfish, you personally?
So, spearfishing, we try to do it during the winter time. So we're so busy during the summer that we're really not allowed to take so many days off to go spearfishing. But I always say when you guys want to go diving and spearfishing, we have to work extra to provide the equipment for you guys. And when everybody doesn't do as much spearfishing, then we can take a few days off and get in the water.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kevin. I think we got all the questions answered. And I believe it's time for our raffle.
Ooh.
All right. So everybody, if you just signed in, unfortunately we closed the link for you to register. So I did grab everybody's information. I put it into a online random name picker for our HammerHead, the MV3 mask with the GoPro attachment at the top. right? What lens is this one? Do you?
And that's your ARC. That's your anti-reflective coating. So
Awesome. So yeah, so whoever wins this, you can come down and pick it up at 4C, or if you win it and you're not in our area, we'll ship it to you. You just got to pay the shipping. So, all right, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to find out? All right, let me go ahead and bring in my random name picker for us. Let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, so, oh, all right. Kevin, I'm gonna hide you for a second so everyone can see the list. Okay, everyone's names
sure.
in here. Here we go. All right, guys. And I'm gonna hit this green button and pick a random name. The winner is Matthew Hudson. Matthew Hudson is our winner. Awesome. All right. If you are watching right now, Matthew Hudson, give us a thumbs up or a big fat I'm so happy comment. All right. So
congratulations, Matt.
Awesome. So guys, again, if you have any questions, you can always go to the 4C Facebook page and type them in, and we can get them answered even after this live is over with. Or you can always email us. And if you want to check out the HammerHead spearfishing gear that we have at 4C, you just go to www.force-e.com and you can see what we carry. And also we do carry more stuff that's not on the website. We carry it in the stores as well. So you can come on down and check that out when you have a chance. Oh, look, Matthew Hudson, he wrote, sweet. He was so excited to win. Good job, Matt. And then also, I'm just going to show you guys, if you could do us a favor and go on to Facebook and like HammerHead Spearguns. They also have an Instagram account. Make sure you're following them to see all the cool pictures and the things that they're coming out with to help you guys grab the right kind of fish. All right. So, Kevin, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, 4C, for organizing and hosting.
And
hello,
thank you,
everybody.
Yeah, and everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you out on the water. See ya.